Skip it up and that up. So shout out to Blackbond for putting together that Solid Rev video where he punched the chair. I don't think I could have started this video off with a better introduction. Make sure you check out Blackbond, link below in the description, and also check out Solid Rev. And the funniest thing about this is, I'm going to be straight up with you, I don't disagree with his takes at all. This isn't a I'm disagreeing with you, here's why I disagree with you video. To me, I was just watching it and laughing because the reasons that he's saying it made him want to quit gaming, which I know he's not going to quit gaming. Even if he says he's going to quit gaming, Solid Rev is not going to quit gaming. He's like me. He'll throw his console out one day and then go to the store the next day and buy a new console of the same one he just threw out. Maybe I've done things like that too. Maybe. But I'm not going to make this video super long. I'm not going to have diarrhea of the mouth. Thank God that's just a saying, because that would be horrifying if I actually did have diarrhea of the mouth. But essentially what Solid Rev was saying is that the game stresses him out to a point where he stops enjoying it. And I get that. I don't disagree with that. But at the same time, with me, the points he was making that are right are the things that are making me love the game, and Elden Ring may become one of my favorite games of all time, if not my favorite game of all time, maybe putting aside Castlevania. Yes, I just said that. Wow, I just said that. So the first point he makes, and usually I would totally agree with this, one of the reasons why I loved Dead Space back in the day is that you would just, I think it was the right analog stick, you'd click it down, and you would see a path of where you're going. And I like that. I have no sense of direction, so usually in games, I enjoy that. With Elden Ring, you have no clue. Yes, there's obviously guides, and yes, my live stream audience has helped me out immensely. I am not going to downplay that. But there are many times I just play on my own after I'm done with work and done with live streaming. And yeah, I'll beat a boss, and I have no idea where the hell I'm going. And I just go in a direction, or I'll keep dying at a certain boss, and I'm like, you know what? This is stressing me out now. I'm going to go in a different direction and see what I find. I would say 9 times out of 10, I would find something else to do, and it was rewarding. It wasn't just like, yes, I farm ruins, and yes, I grind. I'm going to be fully transparent about that. But that was, I think, the thing that really made Elden Ring click with me is that, okay, you can't beat this boss yet? Go do something else besides grinding. Go off in a different direction. You'll find maybe some smithing stones. You'll find an Ash of War. You'll find a weapon. One of my favorite weapons in the game is the God Skin Peeler. And I just randomly, after I forgot what boss it was. No, it wasn't the Fire Giant. It was before that. But there was some boss I couldn't beat. There's so many damn bosses I fought in that game, I can't remember. And then I ended up going, you're in the capital. I ended up going up some hill where there's a bunch of windmills with some crazy ass ladies. And there was some boss up there. And that's where I got the God Skin Peeler. And then I just went up this random mountain, and there were these jellyfish that were red. And shout out to my live stream audience saying, Rich, you see those red jellyfish? You could get a badass shield from them. And now I'm walking around with a jellyfish shield that looks like a breast implant. A breast implant. And I like it. And I've used a lot of somber smithing stones on it to upgrade it. So usually I am all about exactly what Rev says. I don't want to sit there and look around like him. I use the GPS on my phone or the GPS in my car all the time. But if I could go off into any direction and find something to do in a game, which I can do in Elden Ring, and it does it better than other open world games, at least that I've played recently, I'm okay with it. So I kind of like that I don't know where I'm going, because I always find something new, and that's very rewarding. Now, what's interesting is before I jumped into Elden Ring, I knew I was going to play it for that initial video I made with my editor, JKB, I saw a video by VatiVidya. If I'm saying his name wrong, I do apologize. I'm sub to him. I love the guy's channel. And it's called The Beginner's Guide to Elden Ring. And he said this right at the beginning of the video, and it clicked with me. Take a listen.
When you play through Elden Ring, you'll inevitably run up against bosses or areas that will humble you. In these moments, it's important to remember that these obstacles are often there by design. They do not block the path, they are the path. through skill or creativity, or just by coming back later, you can overcome any obstacle in this game.
And Vati Vidya is 150% right. That clicked with me. The bosses being as challenging as they are part of the journey. It's in a way, a puzzle to figure out what are their moves. What do they do to signal that they're about to do a special attack? What maybe you have to use as summons, which I usually do, or you have to. It's one thing I love that Souls games do, and I've learned it especially with Elden Ring because it's my first real Souls experience, is they've brought back the art of an intimidating boss. Now, it's interesting that Rev mentioned the fire giant and how frustrating he was, and Lord knows he was. But it was after I was done streaming, and I was like, what the hell? I kept on dying at the fire giant. It's up in the snowy mountain over there. And I'm like, I'm going to give it one more shot before I go to bed. And let me see what happens, because it was like eating at me that I didn't beat him yet. And I wish I recorded it. It was such a legendary fight because he almost had no health left. I almost had no health left I had no flasks of crimson tears. So if he farted on me the wrong way, I was done. I had maybe like this much health of my health bar left. And I had the Tree Sentinel axe, which I had upgraded with somber smithing stones. And thank you, God, before he was signaling he was about to do an attack, and I got him right before it happened. Let me tell you something. My pulse must have been 200 beats per minute, and that was the biggest adrenaline rush I've had in gaming in a very long time. And I miss the days of intimidating bosses. I miss the days where bosses aren't a pushover. I miss the days of where it's like, you're pumped up because you don't know what the outcome is going to be. Besides, you're probably going to die, but you don't know what the outcome is going to be. It's not like, all right, even if I die, I just come back to the boss and they're going to have all the health I chipped away. It's going to all be gone still anyway. There's consequences, and you feel a sense of pressure. Now, another thing that Rev said is that, and he's right too, man. I've felt this with other games. Like I said, I remember playing Bloodborne and being like, what the hell is this, man? I started the game off, had no idea where I was going, had no weapons in Bloodborne, and the next thing you know, I'm sitting there trying to punch a wolf with my fists, and I died. Then I figured out where the weapon was, and the villagers in Bloodborne killed me, and I died. I'm like, screw this, man. Forget this is insane. But I've learned with Elden Ring to enjoy the uncertainty. If you think about it, at the end of the day, all games all of our hobbies in general are a waste of time. I don't care if you watch football. I don't care if you watch reality shows. I don't care if you're a stamp collector, or I don't care if you play video games. It's something to entertain you and to pass the time with. It's not productive. You know what I mean? So whether I'm spending 2 hours playing Call of Duty or whether I'm spending 2 hours or more playing Elden Ring, it's technically still a waste of time. So which one I'm enjoying more is the one I'm going to play. And I'm really enjoying Elden Ring, because 2 hours in Elden Ring is the same as 2 hours in Call of Duty. It's time wasted either way. I'll end this video by saying this. Elden Ring has reinvigorated my love for gaming, which gaming was getting stale. I felt whenever I played, especially open world games, Halo Infinite was pretty good, but it just all got so samey. And look, I'm a guy that once in a while I do play games on easy. I'm not going to hide it. There's some times I just want to check out my brain at the door. But what's interesting is, as hard as hell as Elden Ring can be, and I know it's considered one of the easier Souls games, I hear you on that, is that it kind of alleviated my stress. I agree with what Solid Rev is saying, man. It can raise your blood pressure and make you want to do what he did at the beginning of the video. Shout out again to Black Bond for showing Rev punching his chair. But as hard as the game could be, and you could literally get killed by a rat, that has happened to me, where I am very overpowered and a rat nibbles at my nipples, and the next thing you know, I'm dead. It gets me so lost in that world, and I have to pay attention so much to what's going on, and my eyes can't glaze over because the game is never easy, that the next thing you know, I'm forgetting about my problems. So at the end of the day, it's just interesting how Solid Rev said that Elden Ring almost made him quit gaming, and Elden Ring is what essentially made me want to keep gaming. It's like one of those once in a lifetime games, and I'm very glad that I got to play. So, two sides of the same coin, Rev, but I get what you're saying, but it's just interesting how this game had a different effect on me than it had on you. This is Rich of Review Tech USA signing out. Have a good one.